Hello, I'm Marcus Boston. Quick video today, and we are going to discuss really a continuation of a video that I did a couple of days ago in which I talked about the importance of understanding if there is going to be a limit on the damages or a limit or a cap as to what you can recover in a general medical malpractice case. And I talked about the two types of damages that you need to be aware of, which are economic and non-economic. I'm not going to go too deep into those today because I already did a video explaining this, but there were questions in regards to that video, especially as it pertains to birth injury or birth trauma cases, which is what we handle. And so I want to explain today how in a lot of instances, if there is a cap or a limit on what you can recover on what we call non-economic damages or pain and suffering damages, like what we have here in Maryland, if there is a cap or a limit on that, how birth injury or birth trauma cases generally can get around those caps if the only cap is on non-economic damages. So to be able to understand this, I want to quickly go into when we talk about non-economic damages, what are we talking about? These are pain and suffering damages, like I said earlier, pain and suffering. And so when we are talking about birth injury or birth trauma cases, for these babies, a lot of times the bulk of the help that they are going to need is going to be in the future. It may be for future care and for care that they may need right now. And when we are analyzing those type of needs and the help that comes from that, those types of damages are called economic damages. Okay, so those would be economic damages. And for example, in a state like Maryland, there are no caps on economic damages. So if you have a situation in which there is a limit as to the pain and suffering or the non-economic types of damages, if you have that cap and there is no cap on what we call economic damages, understand that for birth trauma and for birth injury cases, the bulk of the help that the baby is going to need is going to be on the economic side. And so if the only cap is on non-economics, then of course then you will be able to put most of the help for the baby on the economic side. So I know that it was a lot today, and I know that this is a pretty complex video, but this is a question that we got, as I said, when I was talking about the non-economic damages, and I just want to help you be able to understand this. Now, for specific questions, if you have specific questions and you are in a jurisdiction that has caps or limits, you need to make sure that you speak with your specific attorney about those issues, because what I'm talking about today is generally based on Maryland, how we do things in Maryland, but it is also very general in nature. So I want to make sure that you understand that. If you have more questions, if you are here because your baby has suffered an injury at birth, maybe your baby has an HIE diagnosis, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, or you have a subsequent CP or cerebral palsy diagnosis, or your baby was dealing with meconium issues, meconium aspiration syndrome, if you've got any of these things going on, or an injury that is coming out of birth trauma or a childbirth, labor and delivery, and you have questions, there's a telephone number down below. I invite you to go ahead and pick up the phone and call me. I speak with families about these types of issues all the time. It is what we do. One more thing, as I said earlier, I practice law here in Maryland, and if you contact me and you're not in Maryland, because this video is on the internet and I can't control who watches it, but if you reach out to me and you are not in Maryland, understand that if this is something that we think that we can assist you with, that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state to help and to push the case forward. So I just want to make sure that you understand the local counsel aspect of things. All right, that's going to be it for today's educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.